All right, see y'all guys. I gotta go. Oh yeah, pipe up.
Kirby, what have you seen from Jamon in his first 3 games, being able to start what he's been able to do?
Same thing I saw last year. Hard-working, tough guy. Didn't play a senior year of high school football. Came in a little out of shape. Caught up quick. Very bright, conscientious, tough, physical. All the traits of a linebacker, and he got to watch 3 of the best do it, and he learned from them. So, he's probably not where they were, but he's sharp. He cares, and he's got a really good football coach too.
Coach, obviously, in the position you're right now, people want to say all kind of nice, wonderful things about the program. I know you speak a lot about, avoiding the noise, but when you got the opposing coach saying it's the greatest collection of talent in the history of college football, I mean, what does that kind of do?
He was probably watching last year's tape if he's saying that. I mean, there was a lot of really good players on that team last year. This team's, we're young. We got a lot of mistakes and a lot of things to clean up. So I get it. If I was him, I'd be saying the same thing, but I know different.
Kirby, I wanted to ask, when you have guys like Dan and Stetson who started their career as walk-ons and have worked their way up the depth chart, does that validate to the younger guys on the team that they're walk-ons or not, that there's a process that you can buy into, and if you buy into it, you'll eventually achieve success at some point in your college career?
It validates it, but I don't know if they listen to it. I mean, there's no patience. We've been talking all this week about growth requires patience, and some kids don't really understand what that is. But growth definitely requires patience, and if you don't get it right the first time, the second time, it requires patience. And sometimes, we're talking about growing this week and trying to find ways to get better, and we've had each kid pick 2 things, write them down on an index card, put it up in his meeting room, and then he's got to stand up in front of the team and show it where he did it. And that requires growth. And those guys epitomize, Ladd, Dan, Stetson, just guys that grew, and they were patient. It requires patience sometimes to get where you want to go.
I'm fascinated with the growth exercise. I wasn't familiar with that. Are you saying that's something that you already did, and that for this year, something you do every year?
We just change it up sometimes. It's something we're doing this week. But we've done it before, but we have different exercises where they post them, put them in their meeting room. It's on the door like a kindergarten teacher. And you look at it and you decorate your door, and you see it every day you go in, and then you got to stand up in front of the team and show the video of where you actually did what you said you were going to do. And,
I was just going to ask you about, we get Zion and Dan today, so I mean, what are your overarching thoughts when you talk about those 2 guys?
Max effort guys. They epitomize what the culture of this program is. You're tough, you're physical, you listen, you try hard, you're selfless. They are all those things. And that includes some talent. They got talent. They wouldn't be here, they wouldn't be able to play, but talent's not the overriding factor with those 2 guys. Caring about the program is, and they set the tone. I mean, they were out there today in 90-something degree heat, and I remember going up to both of them and getting our touches in, bumping up and saying, hey, we got to go to work, and they drive that part. Not just them, but so many others like them create a good bond among the guys to work hard.
Sean Lewis isn't the first coach to overly praise the program that you've built, the roster that you've built, and it seems very over the top in the manner in which he said it. What are coaches trying to accomplish, you think, when they come in and say those sort of things about your roster?
So when they upset us, they beat somebody good. I mean, that's what they're doing. They believe they got a shot to come in here and beat us. And you want to build the opponent up. Just same way I respect his program. When you turn on a team's tape and you watch special teams, you find out within 5 minutes what kind of team they are. They are some of the leaders in MAC in almost every special teams category. They have a great offensive system that utilizes a really talented quarterback. They have good skilled players, and they have a unique defense that's hard to prepare for. So, I got the utmost respect for what they've done. They've played probably one of the hardest schedules in the country.
So you talked a bit about how you emphasize growth from your players. Can you talk a bit about the areas where you've seen growth from Logue and Jackson and some of those, and the team as a whole to start the season and going into your next game against?
Yeah, I don't even know where to begin with Z Logue. He's been a guy that he sat behind the studs we had last year forever. And you know, I was laughing today because we had Bear and Christian going down against the one offense and getting just drilled. And I was telling Bear and Christian, you got to do it to get better. And Z Logue was sitting there. I was like, ask Z Logue. He spent 3 years down there. You know, he was 3 years of going against Jamari and Shafe and just every day. And now, you know, he goes against the scout line and he's over there making those guys better. But those young guys have to go over there and rep. And Z just spent a lot of time working his craft, getting better. And he's still got a lot of things he can improve on, but he's not afraid to work at it. And Dan, same thing. You know, Dan was an unknown that really worked his way to the point where he's a contributor, he's intelligent, he's reliable.
All offseason, you were saying the younger guys couldn't be complacent because they hadn't won anything. Well, now you guys are clearly winning things. How is it keeping them hungry and keeping them level-headed?
Well, the tape does that. I mean, there's success to you guys in statistics. There's not necessarily success for us. And you watch a tape and you cut a guy free. You watch a tape and a guy didn't do his job. He didn't strike the right guy. We gave up a gap. I mean, again, guys, there's no perfect defense or perfect offense that we've played. We know that the winner will ask what we did in the fall. And what we're doing now is preparation for what is to come. And that includes getting better every day, regardless of who our opponent is. You know, we're not out there just getting ready for Kent State. We're getting ready for the entire schedule we got. We want to get our players better. You know, we're trying to get guys better for the first game next year because we got some guys that may not play this year. So we're in the development business, and we do that really hard. We're not caught up in statistics or where we are right now because it really doesn't matter. You know, they may get it outside from you guys and read it, but they're not hearing about it over here.
Kirby, you think the defense is as good as the stats indicate, or they can maybe helped by the offense field position wise this year?
I don't know that. I think that the lead, the scoring on offense has made other offenses play us differently. And, you know, we haven't been in one of those kind of games yet where it's, you know, when you get into a 2-score, 3-score lead, sometimes it puts a lot of pressure on the other side of the ball on the offense. It allows you to play looser at times on defense too. But, I mean, our guys go against that offense every day. So it definitely prepares us better to go against good people. But, you know, our defense is preparing every day like they're getting ready to play the best offense ever that week because we know that day can be coming anytime in the future. And we got a lot of guys that need to improve on defense. I continue to say that. Y'all continue to talk about defensive statistics, and I just keep talking about having to improve.
Kirby, when you think back to recruiting Malaki Starks, what were some things from him, I guess, character and personality-wise, that made you think, one, he'd be a good fit for the program, and two, maybe a guy that could contribute as early as he has?
Oh, he's a great kid. He has a wonderful family, very disciplined parents. He was raised in a great family home. I mean, you knew right away he has respect. When he walks in to talk to you, he looks you in the eye, yes or no, sir, does what he's supposed to do. And we already knew he was a tremendous athlete. He ran really fast, jumped really high when he was a 9th grader here. And I talked to his dad that day, and we knew he was going to be some kind of special player. Just didn't know, you know, how good he would be, and I still don't think we know. And just like he found out today on the practice field, there's a lot of things he can improve on and work on. He's got to get better. He's made some good plays, but he's also been gifted some plays, and he's been lucky on some times that he had his eyes in the wrong spot that we got to keep working with him on.
Coach, I think it was yesterday you talked about Darnell and the way he's able to displace other players. How many tight ends have you been around in your career to kind of do the same thing that Darnell does from that perspective?
The combination of athleticism and displacement, probably none. I mean, we had a couple guys when I was at Alabama, Michael Williams. We had some really big, more blocking wise, offensive tackle type guys, but he has a receiving skill set that's unique combined with that size. And the best thing right now about Darnell is he has been working so hard. I mean, he has practiced. You see it usually in year 3 in guys where you go, wow, man, that guy's matured. Man, that guy knows how to practice. that guy knows how to push himself, and they kind of start trusting that if I go really hard during the week, the game will be easy. And I've seen more of that of Darnell this year, and it's really, you're able to see it in the game because he doesn't get tired, he pushes, he makes plays.
You know, just what you made of your safety play so far this year, especially I think they've got 5 of your 6 turnovers. Why they've been able to have so much success creating turnovers for this team?
Pressure. Pressure causes turnovers. That's it. It's not just when you got a guy flushed out of the pocket, he's running for his life, he's moving, he doesn't have long, he doesn't have a clean pocket, he simulates pressure, he thinks there's pressure, there's a backer coming, this guy's coming, they don't know what's going on, you create doubt and they make mistakes. That's created a lot of it.
Kirby, one turnover this weekend ended up in the hands of Trezmen Marshall. What have you seen from him this fall, and where can he improve?
Well, I think his 2 goals were to continue to work conditioning level. He's a guy that struggled conditioning level, and that was one of his big improvement things. Can he play more snaps? Could he play a whole game if he had to? He's been a rotational guy. We want him to improve that, and then some of his box fits are things he can improve. But we've really been pleased with how he's played, and he's played well. He's earned the right to roll in there and play. He's been a good player since he's been here. And to be honest, last year he would have played with those 3 guys, but he stayed, he had the injury bug. And it's really important that he stays healthy.
Coach, what has Gunner Stockton shown you when it comes to running that scout team this year?
Poise, great arm talent. He's probably played better since being on the scout team than having to deal with the information overload. A lot of times you find out a lot about a guy on the scout team because he gets to look at a card. There's no thought process. There's no, I got to say this, do this. You take the robot out and you just play. And he's played well on the scout team. A lot of those kids that came over there with us, there's no pressure because you're not in trouble if you mess up. You just go play. And same way, we pick defensive guys on the scout team. They look at a card, and a lot of times they play faster that way.
You've had Ladd and I think Kiara's back punt return. Thoughts on the punt return team, and with this offense, do you mainly just tell them we just want you to protect the ball?
No, we're not in protect mode. I mean, that's conservative. That's not what we want to be about. We're trying to score on every kickoff return we get the ball, and every punt return we get the ball. We're aggressive. We think we're going to outwork people and out-practice people at those things to put pressure on them. I mean, our goal is to strike fear in every part of the game in our opponent, and that might be the one edge that puts us over the top. So we're not telling them to fair catch it. I mean, we're telling them to be smart, and we got to do a better job on that unit to create space for him.
Time for 2 more questions. Anyone? One more. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.